Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. I am about to head to work in like 5 minutes, literally, but I needed to start this video because I can't get any farther in the book without starting this reading vlog. Today's video is going to be a reading vlog of this book, The God of Endings. This book is by Jacqueline Holland, and I was gifted this book as an ARC, and there's a really special story behind it, and I'm just so excited about this book and what is about to come in the next week. Interesting story, Jacqueline Holland is actually someone who lives in the Minneapolis area, and we know each other through people that we know, you know, like we're like friends of friends, and like I don't know, we just have this like this social connection. But I was asked by my friend who knows her if I would like an advance copy of it, and I was like, oh my god, yes, because I've never gotten an advance copy before, and also I just want to support Minneapolis authors. I think this is amazing. So I was kindly gifted this book, and it comes out next Tuesday on March 7th. You're probably going to be seeing this after that date that it releases, because I'm going to a launch party. I don't know if it's even a launch party. It's just like an author meet and greet at my favorite local bookstore in Minneapolis. I am so excited. She's gonna be there, and it's like bookish dreams. I'm living my bookish life, and I'm just so excited about it. This vlog is going to be this entire like me reading this book and then going to that event and like just meeting Jacqueline and like having a really fun time, and I'm just so excited. So let me tell you what this book is about. First of all, went into it with like no real preconceived notions. I went into it with basically reading the synopsis, which is essentially gave me huge Addie LaRue vibes, like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It is about a woman who becomes a vampire, and the question is like, what is life like when you are immortal, essentially? It gives The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue mixed with The Dowry of Blood. Like, you have the immortal aspect of Addie LaRue mixed with this vampire aspect of Dowry of Blood, and the writing on top of it all is very much in that same vein. The prose is so beautiful. The descriptors she uses, the adjectives, like really beautiful imagery, and it's definitely like leaning more literary fiction style writing. It does like have the historical fiction element to it, but then it also has like the magical realism with like the vampire thing. It's got a big blend of genres, which I really am enjoying so far. I mean, the plot so far has started off with her becoming a vampire. I don't know what like the conflict is going to be. Like, what is it going to be that she keeps moving forward in terms of other than just her being a vampire? I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm about 80 pages in. It's Wednesday right now, March 2nd, and the release date is March 7th when that launch party is. So follow along as I go on this journey of reading this book and meeting an author. This is the first time I've ever done this in my life, and I'm just like so pumped. Welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. Let's have a fun time. Bye. Morning. Sorry if you can hear this tea kettle in the background. It's quite loud and obnoxious at the current moment. It is Saturday morning. No reading update yet because Daisy Jones and the Six came out yesterday, and of course I had to spend my entire evening doing that. It was a really busy work day yesterday, of course, as it always is on Fridays, but then I came home and I was like, all I want to do is watch Daisy Jones and the Six. I had tried really hard to avoid all social media, trying not to see reviews, trying not to see anything like that, and I did a pretty good job. And then I was gonna film a reaction video for it, and I was so excited. I had been planning out all week how I was going to do this, literally like did a bunch of research on how to film reaction videos, and then I sat down to film it. I got about 10 minutes into the show and I was like, I literally hate this. This is ruining my experience of the show because I was watching it on my laptop. Well, first of all, that made me feel like I was in college again. The quality is like shit because I'm trying to like stream it so I can record my screen and also the audio at the same time, and like, I don't know, it was just really complicated. So shout out to everyone who's ever filmed a reaction video because I was confused and didn't have an optimal viewing experience. But I literally got 10 minutes in to the show and I was so self-conscious that I was on camera that I couldn't focus on the show and I wasn't enjoying myself while I was doing it, and I'm just like, screw this. This is not worth it. I want to enjoy this show. This is like my most anticipated show of all time, and I'm not gonna watch it for the first time suboptimally, watching it in a shitty quality on my laptop. So I said, nix to that video idea, whatever, it's fine. And I want to give my thoughts on the first 3 episodes. First of all, the vibes of the show are incredible. I mean, this is like exactly the vibes that I pictured in my head. The wardrobe choices, the hairstyles, the makeup, like everything, like the setting, the California, it's just the 60s California or 70s California vibe. It's a vibe. Spoiler alert to anyone who hasn't seen the first 3 episodes yet. I'm gonna be talking about the first 3 episodes, so if you have not seen them, skip forward to this timestamp here. But like, they definitely have deviated from the storyline. No, they haven't deviated from the storyline. Like, they're just different characters, have different qualities about them, and like, it's not exactly to the book. Like, Camilla's a photographer, there's no Pete, so the band is only 5 people, and then like, they named it the 6 because Camilla was a 6th member, and I was like, well, there's another guitarist here. You're totally missing out a character here. And then, I don't know, they were just changing like the way people met. Like, Teddy and the 6 did not meet in that way. And I don't know, it was just like little things that kept happening, and I'm like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Why are you saying that? That's not right. But I mean, the overall sentiment of the story is still the same, which is good. Oh, another critique I had is ages. I feel like they did not age these characters appropriately. Are they 20? Are they 40? Are they in their teens? Like, I don't know. They're all of a sudden, like, they had teenage Billy, and then they cut to Sam Claflin, and I think he's supposed to be in his young 20s, but he looks like he's like 38, and I'm like, what age are we supposed to be here? I think they aged them up too early, cutting from like the teenage Daisy to Riley and Sam Claflin, which I really like Riley and Sam Claflin. I think they are really great, and they are perfectly picked for these characters, but the ages are all wrong. Like, we could have done a little bit better in terms of trying to keep that kind of more consistent. Also, sorry, another critique. I just need someone to talk about this with. I've been talking about it with some of my friends in real life, and I'm talking about it with Reed, but Reed's obviously never read the book. They need to be more fucked up. Like, Daisy in the book is constantly on drugs. She's constantly taking uppers and downers, trying to get a perfect balance of drug. Billy, before he went to rehab, they did portray him as a significant drunk, but that was only 1 episode. You know that like in the first episode, they were not really leading up to him having an alcohol problem. And I kind of thought that that was going to be more consistent throughout Billy's entire storyline at first, but it's okay. I mean, they got the point across. Like, he went to rehab. Now we're getting into the whole part where Camilla and Billy, you know, have their daughter and whatnot. And I think that that's being done really well. I mean, overall, book is still better than the show, in my opinion. It's meeting my expectations. I'll tell you that. I just wish it had stuck more closely to the storyline. And this could also have something to do with the fact that the book is an 8 to 10 hour audiobook or something like that, and they have to fill the show with a lot more storyline and like character arc than the book did. So that probably plays part into it too. I don't know. Those are my overall thoughts. Overall, really enjoying it. Really excited for next week and the weeks to follow. This is gonna be my Friday nights. I'm just gonna binge watch these 3 episodes and live my best life with Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm very happy about it. Oh wait, also, sorry I keep talking about it, but I'm just so excited about it. The album, if you listen to it front to back, it flows so well, which I really, really enjoy. You can tell where the record breaks too. Like, the first half of the album, it's like an arc like this, right? Like, it like starts off really hot, and then you get into a little slower part, and then it comes back and with like that surging honeycomb. It's great. The only thing that I was a little annoyed by is that Aurora, the song Aurora, is supposed to be like the last song, and it's supposed to be like this synth like sound bath, like this 70s sound bath, and it's the first song on the album, and it's really, really, really upbeat. And in the book, Aurora is like Billy's like ultimate song to Camilla, and I literally envision the Northern Lights as a song, and their version of Aurora did not give. It was not it for me. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks that, but I was literally expecting About You by the 1975 set as a 70s synth sound bath. This is me being really, really hypercritical, because I feel like I just have this vision of my mind of what I picture these characters and picture this music and all this kind of stuff, and I just like want that vision to be perfectly displayed. But overall, I'm enjoying it. I like the show. I like the album. It's great. And I'm really excited to keep watching it. So that was a really long-winded rant, but I had to get my thoughts off. You're just gonna be randomly getting these Daisy Jones and the Six updates for the next few weeks of my reading vlogs, because this is the central TV show of my life right now. Okay, one other sad thing that did happen yesterday morning is I sat down to read The God of Endings, and I'm an idiot, and I put my book on the armchair of the couch or whatever, and then it was not set on there stably, and it completely tumbled over, and I got coffee all over it. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know I spill coffee all over my books. I hate it. It's dumb. Literally, why do I do this? Speaking of coffee, making coffee right now. I'm gonna go sit down and read this book. I will see you guys in the next clip. Peace out, Girl Scout, and hopefully I will have read more of The God of Endings because I have to read it by Tuesday and I still have 300 pages left. Bye. Also, why was Karen British? That was out of left field. I'm about 100 pages in. You guys, this book is so good. So good. I was not expecting to like enjoy this book as much as I did. I mean, obviously I was like, yes, I want to read this book because I want to support a local author, but like, I can't believe how much I'm actually really enjoying it. Because this could have gone one of two ways, right? It's either gonna go like, wow, I have totally different tastes than this author does, and like, whilst it could be a great book, might not actually cater to what I like enjoy, but I genuinely enjoy this. Like, this is amazing. Wow, incredible writing. Like, the prose is just beautiful. What I'm really liking about it, it's very much like A Dowry of Blood and Addie LaRue. It is the mashup between those two. This has that style of writing. It's like a very literary fiction style vampire novel. Okay, so let me just explain kind of like the storyline right now. You're following this woman named Colette who was turned into a vampire by her grandfather at like a young age. And she was like abandoned by her grandfather, and she's kind of on her own. She does like this transatlantic voyage to Europe, basically has just been like dropped off, and they're like, good luck. But she's encountering other vampires and people who like work, not for, but like work with or like know of vampires and like care for them and stuff. I was like around page like 70 or 80 right now. I was like, I don't feel like there's a plot really. But then now that I kept reading, I'm like, okay, there's definitely a plot. Like, you're following her as she has recently become a vampire, flip-flopping back and forth between like that time and like the, I don't know, 1800s and then the 1980s, where she's a teacher at a school, like a French school, and she's like living in the US and just living life. So that's kind of like the storyline that's going on right now. It's not this like overwhelming thriller plot where it's just like moving. It's very much like a historical fiction, literary fiction style of plot where you're just following, it's like a character study of this woman, but there is stuff that is carrying the story through, definitely. Like, I'm not getting bored reading it. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that normally with vampire stories, it is so focused on the vampire and how like being immortal and like all this kind of stuff, or like anyone, I mean, obviously that's the interesting part. But the one thing that I feel like Jacqueline Holland is doing that is different from other vampire stories I've read is she's really paying like homage to how beautiful it is to be human. There's this one character who is a human, and she like really looks at him in just this like beautiful way, taking in this man's like vulnerability and like sensitivity and all this kind of stuff. She's really showing how amazing it is to be human, and I don't know, just provides a different perspective from a vampire novel. I feel like sometimes as humans, I feel like we, you know, get obsessed with the idea of longevity and wanting to live forever and whatever, but I don't know, she's really highlighting how beautiful it is that we just exist for a short amount of time, and our passions, and how we can live a very like...
It's a very Tolkien concept.
Is it?
Death is the gift of men.
Yeah, okay, I haven't read Lord of the Rings, but I don't know, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I'm only on page 100, so I have about 350 pages left. God, I hope I can read this by the launch party. I should have started this a week earlier, whatever. Yeah, today I think we are going to get together with friends tonight, and then tomorrow we're gonna be chilling with Reed's sister and at her place. I don't know, I think I wanna record some booktube videos today. I'm not really sure. We'll figure it out, but that's what's going on with my life. Not super exciting. We're making a pancake breakfast. I'm so psyched about it. I haven't had pancakes since I was like 12. I don't know. Reed's making a pancake breakfast. God bless this man. He always cooks food for me. I'm worthless sometimes. Okay, peace. Sunday, March 5th? I don't even know. It's first weekend in March, Sunday. I am on page 187 of The God of Endings, and I just need to crank this book out today, honestly. I have to be done with it by Tuesday, and I'm like, it feels like I'm in school again when I'm like, I have to read a book. Honestly, it's motivating me to read, so maybe I should set artificial deadlines for myself more often. I don't know. Okay, I'm not getting 5-star feels. I will tell you that. I'm thinking it's a 4-star, at least this far. Unless there's like this big plot twist or something at the end, I have a feeling it's gonna be a 4-star. I do want to just give like a little bit of an update on the plot because the plot is like moving. Basically, like I said before, we're flip-flopping back and forth between 1980 and then like 1750 or something like that. And plot lines are both very intriguing to me. So let's start off with the 1980 storyline. Essentially, she is a preschool teacher living in like upstate New York or something like that. And she's a vampire and just like living her life and like just trying to be normal in society. And the plotline of that story is that there is a student that she has. Again, they're preschoolers, so this kid is like 4 or whatever. And weird things are happening. Mysterious injuries. He's talking about a dead stuffed animal. Like, I don't know, kind of like strange stuff. So right now, you kind of have a feeling of where the story is going in terms of that storyline, but I'm not 100% sure. Nothing has been explicitly said yet. I'm not sure if a domestic violence situation or what is going on in that storyline. But essentially, you're following this child. He keeps saying weird stuff. He keeps getting like, he had a concussion, like all this kind of stuff. And his mom is not really present a whole lot. So yes, you're following her as a vampire, but you're mainly following that storyline with this child. The past is where I feel like it is really, really interesting. So there's not really one thread of a storyline throughout this. You're essentially following her after she has become a vampire, gone to Europe, and she's kind of just trying to literally survive. She basically ends up finding people who also like help vampires and stuff like that. But there are like witch hunters in this town and like they have to try and stay protected. And I don't know if she's in France or if she's in Germany or Transylvania or what, but she's just making her way through Europe, literally trying to stay alive. She's like running in the woods and like meeting people along the way, and you're just like meeting a random cast of characters as she continues to go along. So both plot lines are pretty intriguing so far, and I'm really enjoying it. I mean, yeah, I'm just about halfway through. I have a feeling it's gonna be a solid 4-star, but like I said before, Dowry of Blood and Addie LaRue, like it's like if those 2 books had a baby, it'd be this book. I don't know, I'm really enjoying it because I think you have the intrigue of a present day vampire, but then you also have this like, she has this really mysterious past where it's very much that like vampire folklore of like Transylvania and like vampires running about in the mountains and like weird woods and witches and that kind of vibe and like folklore feel to it. Okay, so that's the book update, but I did want to tell you just like a few little anecdote things because I want to talk about these things. So, you know, I do reading sprints on my channel. I mean, reading sprints are a booktube thing, right? Well, I get really sensitive when I'm being filmed. Like I know I'm being filmed and I can't really concentrate on what I'm like my task that I'm doing sometimes. And I think reading sprints on YouTube, very fun time, but sometimes it can be really hard for me to concentrate. I'm just telling you how it is. Like this is how it is. I love doing reading sprints. I love interacting with you guys, but in terms of me trying to read, I gotta be like my focus has gotta be on. And sometimes when I know that I'm being filmed, I like my brain can get really easily distracted, you know? But I downloaded this Pomodoro app called Flora, I think it is. Yeah. And basically you do Pomodoro sprints with yourself and then you grow trees. Look at my little garden that I grew. It's so cute. I have like these little plants and like you basically just grow plants every time you do a sprint. You grow a plant and then you get to like move. They have like a grand tour of the world where you can like grow different plants around the world, and it's really kind of motivating and really cute. So I'm being very much motivated by that. I wonder if they have like a web app that we could use during sprints. Maybe that would help me stay more focused because I want the plant to grow. Can you tell I'm a plant person? Like basically I'm doing 25 minutes on, like 10 minutes off, just doing sprints today by myself, doing reading. We went to a cidery last night with some friends and played the game of life, which is just phenomenal. Like if you haven't played the game of life as an adult, I mean, I would suggest it. It was quite fun. We had a good time. It's just kind of a mindless game where you can have extraneous conversation and not have to focus too much on the game. But it's just, oh my God, the nostalgia factor was so great. All right, so I'm gonna continue reading my book. I'm gonna grab some coffee and I'll check in with you guys later. Peace out. Hey everyone, it is about 5:30, 6 o'clock at night on Sunday night, and I gotta get reading. I have to finish this book in 2 days. I have to get it done. I'm halfway through. And Reed has a lot of hope in me that I can finish 170 pages tonight, but I don't know if I have that much hope for myself. That is a lot of reading. It normally takes me like a few hours to finish 100 pages, and I just read slow, okay? I'm just gonna take that hope with me. I need some positive mindset here to get me to read this book quickly. Yeah, we've kind of just had a really chill day today. We went and hung out with Reed's sister, and yeah, just kind of hanging out, reading our books, and like not doing a whole ton. But it did start like blizzarding outside. White out right now. It's crazy. So vibes are immaculate. We're just gonna be reading. Actually, first I'm gonna take a shower and then I'm gonna start reading. And I have worked the late shift tomorrow, so if I go to bed later or if I wake up earlier, I have a considerable amount of time to read in the morning. And let's get to it. Peace. Hey, okay, so I'm on page 300. I have 150 pages left and it's 9 o'clock and I'm gonna stop for the night because I wanna watch The Last of Us. The plot is moving. It does seem to be taking a little bit to, I don't know, get to the places we're going. Like things aren't moving super, super fast. It's a little bit drawn out right now, but not in a bad way. I mean, the storyline right now in terms of what we're following in 1980 with like the child's family who has like just a really messed up background, a lot of stuff just like got explained with all of that, and that was really, really interesting. So I feel like that's keeping me going. We are now entering like the mid 1900s in terms of her past and stuff like that. So like war is breaking out and all this kind of stuff, and the timeline for when you're talking about her past and like how she has lived and stuff, it tends to change every like 50 pages or so, like what's happening in her life and like who she is surrounding herself with and where she's living and all this kind of stuff. Again, I think the writing is really good. I honestly think BookTube will really like this book. Like this is a genuinely great vampire story. You're getting so many just solid vampire story elements, but also it has like a literary fiction taste to it with the writing style. I don't know, I'm entertained. And then there's also an aspect of like a mystery part of it as to like what's happening with this family and this kid, and like something is really wrong there, so you're trying to figure out, like it's like a domestic thriller, like mystery type of situation. Not like super heavy like that, but there is a kind of a mystery plot of like, okay, something's really wrong with this family and you're trying to figure out what it is. So it's got a bunch of really solid elements going for it. But I really think that if you liked Addie LaRue, if you liked A Dowry of Blood, you are gonna like this book. Just, I know I keep saying that every single time, but like it's so true. It's just, as I keep reading more and more and more, it's continuing to solidify that those are two books that if you like those, you probably are gonna like this one. All right, so we're gonna watch The Last of Us and then I'm gonna read more tomorrow. Hey everyone, oh my God, it is Monday evening, March 6th. This is not a book related update. I've just had a freaking day. Why is it like this? Like literally every Monday that I work at the hospital, it's just chaos. We watched The Last of Us last night. Okay, so it was the episode before the finale airs, and like very disturbing episode. Very disturbing episode. So I watched that immediately before going to bed. I was left with a very big sense of unease after watching that episode. If you've watched it, you know. It was that episode, but then also like I'd been reading this book about a vampire and like, I don't know, it was just like a lot of blood and like grossness in my brain. And I was scared to go to sleep last night because I was really scared of having a bad dream. And so I didn't sleep well last night at all, like at all. I didn't fall asleep probably until like midnight, and normally I go to bed around like 10-ish because I was literally laying there trying not to fall asleep so I could stave off a bad dream. So that started off my Monday morning terribly. Got to work, just got slammed, like just slammed at work. Didn't have time to eat lunch, barely had time to like do anything at work. I literally didn't check my phone the entire day because I was just like running back and forth between patients. I was at work late. I didn't leave until like 6 o'clock, which is very, very unusual. Then I got in the car, spilled all my remainder of my coffee all over the car, went to the grocery store, came home, grocery store bag ripped. It was snowing out this morning. I've just like had a day. I don't know if like my chakras are malaligned or if like some planets in retrograde, like I don't know. You know, one thing I did see on my way home is it does look like it's a full moon, and like, dude, if you don't know, or if you've never worked in medicine or anything like that, full moons totally are just a recipe for disaster in healthcare. Like, it's such a thing. I swear to God, if they have never done research on this, it's a total thing where it's like anytime you get a full moon, people are just like off. Like the world is off. I don't know. I was gonna go to the gym and just walk on the treadmill, but I still have 150 pages left of this book to read. So I decided I just need a night of self-care. My anxiety is like out of control and I just need to like chill, have a bath, read this book, and at least try and get another 75 pages in. If I can get 75 pages done tonight, I think I have enough time tomorrow to read another 75 pages before the event. But yeah, I'm just like, I just need an event because I'm just, oh my God, working, like just working is so overwhelming. It is so difficult to have mental illness. Like I have severe anxiety and like it is so difficult to work through that at a job where I'm taking care of people. Like it is just torture sometimes. I just need to go take a bath and have a chill night, read this book and just chill, you know? And I meditated after I got home from work and it did help, but like I needed more. I need more calming. I need more calming things. Okay. I'm gonna go take this bath. All right, peace out. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey everyone, it's Tuesday, the day of the book event thing for the God of Endings, where I'm gonna be meeting the author Jacqueline Holland tonight. Oh my God, but guess what? I still have 100 pages left. I have 3.5 hours before the book interview event thing starts. Can she do it? Can she finish 100 pages in 3.5 hours? You'll have to find out. You'll have to stay tuned. I am cutting it real close here. And I probably should not be filming this update and just reading instead. Oh, here's the deal. My anxiety is out of control right now. Out of control. I've tried meditating. I've tried doing, taking a bath. I've tried everything to try and calm my anxiety and it's not working. So love that when I am trying to enjoy myself doing this book thing. And this is not book related anxiety. This is work related anxiety, which is just terrible and a whole beast in itself for me. But regardless, I need to finish this book. I am pouring myself a cup of coffee, which definitely does not help the anxiety, but I should just get into decaf coffee. I don't know why I always have coffee with caffeine. It's just a habit at this point. I don't want to talk about it. That's a conversation for another time. So yes, 3.5 hours, and then I also have to like put makeup on and shit, so that'll take a little bit too. Quick update, like honestly the ending, it is speeding up. It's starting to get really good. I'm really intrigued. There's a bunch of mystery right now as to like what's happening with this kid's family and like what's happening with her and her past and like how are these two stories gonna come together. And it's starting to kind of come together, but at the same time, like there's still a ton of intrigue left. So excited. I'm definitely gonna be showing some clips. I feel very uncomfortable filming in public, so it'll probably just be a few little clips here and there. All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Okay, I finished it. I'm like very emotional. That was really good. It's 6 o'clock. I have 1 hour until the thing starts. Go me, I literally read 100 pages in 2 hours. Like, that's rare. Guys, this, oh my God, I literally have full body, like I have chills. They just keep going through my body. I didn't like actually shed a tear, but like my eyes got really welled up. Oh my God, that was so good. I can't believe I get to go meet her. I'm like, I can't believe that was a debut. Wow, I am so impressed. Okay, so I just want to like talk a little bit about like why I loved it so much and what I'm taking away from it and like just the feeling that I have right now. Like, wow. Okay, so the book focuses on this woman named Colette. She's also named Anya. She has like multiple different names, whatever. But like I said, she is a school teacher and she's forming this really close bond with one of her students and his family and stuff like that. And so his mom is like not very like there for this child. His name is Leo. She's not there for him throughout a lot of what this child is like going through and stuff like that. And she's kind of an absent parent. Colette really takes him under her wing, and the way that she depicted that relationship, I've never felt such like a deep care for a fictional relationship with a child before. It was just so beautiful and it evoked such emotion in me to like watch her care for him so much, and just you can really see just the love that she has for this child, and you love this child as much as she does too. Like, Jacqueline Holland really displays this child, Leo, in such a vivid light, and you just feel like you grow to have this bond with him throughout this book. And like, I could picture this child and so vividly in my mind, and exactly what he looked like and his personality and the way that he talked. Like, I can just see him in my mind. I don't know. I just feel a really intense personal bond with this fictional child, and it was just so beautiful to like see that relationship play out. But it was also a really tragic story too, and it also, the story left you guessing until the very last page. I am so glad I read this book. This is not a book I would have picked up just out of the blue. I can guarantee you that. I would not have read this if I wasn't prompted to. I feel like I would have been interested in it, but I feel like I would have been like, there's other things that I am more interested in just in general. But like, I am so happy I read this. It was so unexpected for me to really love this book. First of all, like I had said in the beginning of the vlog, I was like, okay, obviously I like want to support this author, but I have like no idea if our tastes are gonna line up. And like, wow, they did. Like, this is so good. This is so good. Just try it out. If you're interested in vampires, if you're interested in literary fiction, try it out. I think you're gonna really like it. Like, it's just a really beautiful exploration of our mortality and kind of those bigger questions about life and death. Like, I literally can't believe this is her debut novel. I read the acknowledgements at the end too, and you can tell that she's a mother, and you can tell that she has really pulled from her experiences as a mom to bring Leo to life and to bring these children to life. Because I'm not just talking about Leo in general. There are so many different children throughout this book that Anya or Colette form really close relationships with, and you can see how she's kind of this motherly figure to a lot of children. I just felt like this like motherly pull, I don't know, deep down inside me to be like, wow, this is such a beautiful gift we have to be able to like have a relationship or be able to like parent a child. I don't know. Now I'm just thinking about my life and like children and like, what am I even doing with my life? I'm just like so happy I read this. I'm like tearing up and I have chills, and I'm just so excited to hear what she's gonna say tonight at this like author interview, and I can't wait to talk to her. And like, oh my god, I'm just so happy. Okay, I need to get ready because I literally have to leave in 20 minutes and I have no makeup on, and I need to like look presentable. Okay, I'll see you guys when I get there. I'm so excited. This was such an amazing book. Okay, literally pulled myself together in 10 minutes. I'm so proud of myself. Like, are you kidding? Obsessed.
When I was a child, the dead were all around us. Cemeteries were not common in the early years of the 1830s. Instead, small shambling family graveyards butted up against barns, or sprung up like pale mushrooms at the edges of pastures, in the yards of church and school and meeting house, until eventually you could look out across the village, see all those gravestones like crooked teeth in a mouth, and wonder who the place really belonged to, the huddled and transient living or the persistent dead.
Colette, or Anna's, immortality allows us to see the rhythm of every life, but on a larger swath of it. So she gets things, she makes connections, she finds people that she cares about, finds some kind of home, and then inevitably something happens and it comes to an end. In her life, it's often very tragically. She does not age past, she sort of reaches maturity and then stops. And so that is a pressure on her to move on. She can only stay in a place for so long before people start to be like, hey, what's up? She has this cycle of loss and of deep pain at the experience of loss. And she is taught when she's an adolescent, she's taught about these gods, and there's this god Chernabog who is the personification in that religion of loss, of destruction, of darkness, and she seems to encounter him in very manifest ways. And so every time that she loses something, this god visits her and essentially takes it from her. And she just develops this deep terror of this god, the god of endings. And she lives her life haunted by his coming and the threat of his coming. And her response to his regular taking is to become determined never to have anything that can be taken, to live a very detached life where she doesn't have anything that's of too much value, where she doesn't have anything that it would hurt too much to lose. And she is having to reconcile with the pain of losing good things, which is something that we all have to do. Mortal or immortal, you're gonna run into that phenomenon. And she has to realize that she's been fixated on one part of the equation, the losing part. But to lose something, you have to have had something, you have to have received. And she has not attended enough to the gift of receiving and accepting that just because you've received something, it doesn't mean that it's yours forever. So you have to enjoy it and rejoice in it, but hold it loosely and not be embittered when you lose that thing. And that even the experience of loss, it shakes off the accreted like entitlement, the sense of like, I should have only good things. Like it makes you realize that you're not entitled to anything. And so when you get anything, you see it as a gift.
Hey guys, so it is now Wednesday, March 8th, and the book event was last night for The God of Endings. I met Jacqueline Holland last night. She signed my copy, and I'm just like, live my best life. That book event was so great. Why have I never done an event at a bookstore before? Like, I know this bookstore does quite a few events where they're like interviewing authors and stuff like that, but I've never prioritized it. And I had such a great time. So it was basically like a half-hour session where the moderator asked Jacqueline quite a few questions about the book, like what her inspiration was and all this kind of stuff. Then there was time for audience questions and whatnot. It took her 6 years to write this book, which is insane. Like, that is so long to commit yourself to. And I just really, really admire her. She is such a beautiful person inside and out. She just like radiates kindness out into the world. But yes, I need to prioritize going to more bookish events because honestly, my soul was overflowing with the amount of joy that I was having. Like, I was living my best life, truly was living my best life last night. Like, I was so engaged. I was in flow. I was just having a great time. A 10 out of 10 experience. Would recommend going to a local book event if you have not done so before. Like, seriously, do it. I think you're gonna really enjoy it. But I just wanted to give my final thoughts on the book because now I've sat on it for like a day. For my rating, I'm feeling a 4-star right now. And I don't want you to think, oh, 4-star, like it wasn't like a 5-star, whatever. No, and I think the reason that I did decide to give it a 4-star is the pacing was like a bit slow, kind of right in the middle. I feel like I was really hooked with the 1980s storyline where you're following the mother and her, like that family that Colette is helping along, but then her past storyline of when she was a vampire, it kind of slowed for me at some points, whilst it did change quite a bit throughout the book and you're following different people every 50, 70 pages or so. For some reason, it just got a little slow to me. I was definitely more interested in the 1980s storyline, but it's the rating that feels most right to me in the moment. But I have a feeling if I sit with this book for longer, it could be higher. My final thoughts on this whole book are, number one, this is such a unique take on a vampire story. I feel like every other vampire story I've ever read, it's like gruesome or horror-ish, or it's like romance, like fantasy romance. You're focusing on some kind of like fantasy love, like with a vampire, you know, Twilight, A Dowry of Blood, all that kind of stuff. But I've never read one that doesn't focus on a relationship or of something of that kind, like a romantic relationship. This one focused on, it was a very big theme of motherhood. And whilst Colette, who is the main character in this book, isn't actually like a mother and she's been living alone her entire life, the relationship she forms with the children that she has met throughout her life, she becomes a teacher, she continues to like just befriend children, and not in a weird way, just genuinely like she truly cares about children and just like wants them to grow up and succeed. And even Jacqueline last night was talking about how she was inspired to write this book when she became a mother, and how, you know, you don't want to do anything wrong when you become a mother and you just want to make this life and existence perfect for your child. And you can really see that reflected in this novel. I think it was such an out of my comfort zone book to read too. Like, I feel like if it was just me existing in the world and I came across this book, I probably would not have read it, but I'm so glad I did. And I think this is a sign for me to read more books outside of my comfort zone, especially when it comes to like more literary fiction stuff, because while sometimes the plots might not be as intriguing as say like a fantasy or a thriller or whatever, the deep meaning behind a lot of literary fiction novels just cuts me to my core. It literally takes the human part of me and just highlights it times 100. And I feel so seen and so moved by like many literary fiction books that I read. And this definitely leans more literary fiction, but like I feel like I have a different perspective on being a parent in general. Like, it made me kind of feel things that I didn't even know I could feel. And long story short, I've been questioning whether or not I want to be a parent for a long time. And like, this just kind of like helped me explore that. And it was just great. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And I feel like regardless of the parenthood, like motherhood theme, this book offers so much. And even just thinking about death and thinking about like life, and I don't know, I think there's a lot of other deeper meanings behind this book that I probably went over my head as well, but I don't know, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, outside of my comfort zone, and I'm really thankful that I read it. So thank you, Jacqueline, for giving me a copy of this. It was truly amazing, and I'm just so happy I read this. Please go and support Jacqueline. She is an incredible human being, like all around. She's genuinely an amazing person, and I just sing praises about this book to high heavens. I think this could be a contender of one of my best books for the year. Yes, even though I gave it a 4-star, there's nothing wrong. You can put a book that's not a 5-star in your best books of the year. It's about the impact that it leaves, honestly. And I think this is one of the best books that I've read in quite a long time. Seriously. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm going to leave the link for The God of Endings down below if you want to purchase it and go support a local author. Please go support her. She's incredible. How about if you made it to the end of the video, if there's a vampire emoji, please put that in the comments, because vampires. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace and love, baby. Bye.